Hey, why not do a Flintstones Christmas episode? This has to be good, right? It is the Flintstones, and this came out. It is season 5, and I believe this came out in 1964. The wonderful internet that everybody relies on was wrong the first time I looked it up. It said season 3. It wasn't even close. It was season 5. So this is how you would look up this episode if I recommend it. So I will do a breakdown of this episode, and if it's funny, it has to be. It's the Flintstones. But we will find out right after this.
So much fun, kids can't wait to get their hands on it. You don't just drink to squeeze it, you squeeze to squeeze it. Squeeze it in fruity flavors like chocolate cherry and mean green puncher. Go ahead. Squeeze the fun out of it. Something really cool is happening. Frozen Squeeze-It makers in your favorite Squeeze-It characters. Squeeze-It, Freeze-It. One in Mark 6-packs.
So I don't know if you remember these little squeeze it drinks. These were actually disgusting. I don't remember when they were pulled off the market, but they did not last long. These, of course, came out in 1991. They had cool little characters with them. And yes, I used to collect the bottles. That probably doesn't surprise anybody who watches this channel, since I like to have lots of things of nonsense. So, so now this is the Flintstones, and yes, I do have Flintstones Funko Pops, but they are in a box put away, so no, I did not get them out. So this is, of course, this was directed by Joseph Barbera and William Hanna-Barbera. That's what they call the cartoons. So, and of course, this was Wilma's voice. Oh, I already forgot her name. So I already have to go to the cheating tablet. But she did voices in the Jetsons as well.
Really?
Yes, she did. And her name, I should have remembered, Jean Vander. That's really not that hard. And of course, Alan Reed was Fred Flintstone, and he actually did a voice in Lady and the Tramp. And he was also in Breakfast at Tiffany's and some other movie about ringing a doorbell. So this is Alan Reed at his best, and of course he is the voice of Fred. And then we have the great Mel Blanc, who actually did the voice of Barney and Dino. I know I'm going to get a who out of this, and he did a lot of the voices in Looney Tunes.
No.
Yes.
They
Yes.
all sound different.
Yes, he has different. He's a great voice actor. He has different voices.
What, is Joey from Full House?
He is, yes. No, don't insult him like that. He is not Dave Coulier. This guy has talent. So yeah, so this is Mel Blanc. So yes, he is in the Flintstones. So now this is the Christmas episode. I believe this was episode 13, 15. I was just 2 off. That's not bad. And I did forget to grade the Polar Express. Hopefully, I will not.
You also didn't say how you liked it either.
Yes, I did. I said I gave it a slight recommendation.
Oh. I don't remember that. Okay.
But yes, I did forget to grade it. It gets a B. So now, so I will. So now I will obviously try to remember to grade this one. I'm just a tad under the weather. I guess that does happen. So in this, Santa Claus does get a cold. I know we have seen that before in a claymation Christmas special. A year without a Santa Claus. So now the Flintstones have a year without Santa Claus here. So now, who saves the day? You're probably already guessing it. Yes, it does end up being Fred. So Fred has to deliver the presents, and he does this because he gets a extra job because it's Christmas time. It's his favorite time of year, where everybody's nice to each other. This doesn't really seem to fit Fred in my book, but it is what it is. Whatever. So he finds a job, and then he does other things, and then he ends up being Santa Claus at the Wonderful Mall. So obviously, Fred fits the part. He has
You
a good
should do that.
be Santa Claus.
I left the little children on your lap.
Yeah, no, Jared Fogle would love that job, but I would not, because first of all, I'd have to be the size of a dump truck to quote Oscar from the Sesame Street video that has done very, very well. I could be an elf, and somebody wants to get down and not be my guest anymore. Were you disappointed in the Flintstones? I think he was. Maybe Dino scared him. So that is pretty much the story. So I will play the first clip in just a second.
It sure gets exciting around Christmas time, doesn't it, Flip?
I'll say it's my favorite time of the year. Everybody's full of goodwill to his fellow man.
Yeah, that's the way it should be all the time.
Watch where you're going, you jaywalker!
Well, remember,
Back? Ah, shut up, frog mouth! Boy, there's a guy with no Christmas spirit at all.
Here is the first clip. It looks nice and jolly in Bedrock. So I guess they have Christmas and caveman time. So of course you don't think much of this. It was a cartoon. I believe this was actually an adult humor around this time. So this was like I guess you can call it The Simpsons back in the day, even though this was a ripoff of The Honeymooners, which was a show with Jackie Gleason. Sorry, like I said, I have a cold. I'm sorry. So now getting back to it, so this was considered a adult cartoon, and I've had people come up to me and say that Family Guy started it and the Simpsons. Sorry, no, it was the Flintstones that started it. Sorry to break your bubble, but yes, the '60s cartoon. This was the people called this the golden era of television, and I am starting to believe it for sure. We had the '60s Batman, the Flintstones, the Jetsons followed. I'm sorry to disappoint everybody. I was just scolded. I was asked about Franklin, something called Little Bear, and Hannah Montana was thrown into that mix.
You forgot one.
Dragon Poop. Oh, sorry, Dragon Tales. And of course, somehow Hannah Montana made the list, and I still can't believe it. That's why I said it twice. This does not compare to any of those. This is a classic show. This is a terrific cartoon. We'll see how this episode goes, though. So far, Barney doesn't have so far nothing funny to say. There is some comedy. Obviously, somebody yells at Fred. They call him a frog mouth. So now Fred is unable to lift solid oak dressers. So so now Fred is now looking around. He's looking at the pretty decorations, the presents in the window, and he wants to get a second job. I'm a little surprised that Fred wants to do this. I think one is enough. So,
Not this day and age.
well, but this is Fred we're talking about here. And once that alarm goes off, he is shooting out of the door. So, so now we will see what he does. He could be a pizza delivery man, and he could play hero and call himself Captain America for all we know. Let's see what he gets. I will show the next clip in just a second.
to join the Christmas club instead of the golf club.
Hey, Barney, look at this sign in the window. Part-time help wanted. I can pick up some extra Christmas money.
Gee, that's a good idea, Fred. Hey, you better apply for it right away.
All right, Flintstone, you're hired. Report for work tomorrow night. Oh, thank you, Mr. Macy Rock. I'll be here. I get the job.
Oh, that's swell, Fred. What do you do?
I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow. Come on, let's go home now. I want to tell Wilbur the good news.
So here's Fred getting his job, but he doesn't know what it is. So, but he works tomorrow night. I like that. I do like the nighttime hours. I don't know how Wilma would exactly feel about this, but Barney tells Betty first, and I'm showing this clip because this is one of the parts of this that Barney does make me laugh. He
Barney
is
or Batman?
actually both. So I will show that clip in just a second.
Hiya, Betty.
Barney, where have you been?
With Fred, he got himself a part-time job at the Bedrock department store so he can make some extra money for Christmas presents.
Bam Bam, put your father down. Dinner's ready.
Boy, that roast dough.
Where's Bam Bam? Bam, 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 Bam. Oh, for goodness sake. Get to the table.
I forgot, where do we leave off?
Bam Bam.
Oh, yes. Action.
I do.
Oh, so this is obviously you don't need a bounce house if you have Bam Bam. So Bam Bam is just bouncing Barney up in the air, and I did find this funny. Barney is actually my favorite character. His laugh is absolutely hilarious. It is. So then, of course, they were having a roast dodo bird. He must have got that from the Bob Vila co-star collection, since his a lot of his people that he had on were boring dodo birds. So obviously, Bob Vila will not be happy with this. So they are now eating a delicious meal, and Fred is ready to go to work at his wonderful Macy's. Yes, this is probably based on the wonderful store Macy's. They allowed them to actually use names like this in the cartoons back then. And of course, it's Macy Rocks. So they did change it a little bit. So he's going to the Mall of Gallstones, and he's going to be working as a gift wrapper. And I will show the next clip, and he's waiting on a woolly mammoth. So I will show that in just a second.
Yes, something to be wrapped?
Yes, this umbrella. I'd like it gift wrapped in red paper with green ribbon and a gold bow, and I'm in a hurry.
Yes, ma'am. Have it for you in a minute. There's no box big enough for this. I'll just wrap the paper around it.
And will you hurry? I've been waiting a half hour.
Well, okay, lady. I'm just tying the bow. There. How's that?
Is this some kind of a joke? Do you call that gift wrapped?
Well... Yes, I do.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So here he is waiting on this woolly mammoth, who was probably a high school keyboarding teacher in the Stone Age, of course. So obviously she is telling him to hurry up. Um, Gift wrapping isn't really my whole specialty. I just sort of do it in a hurry, and that's that.
Yeah, I'm having my own Christmas presents this year.
That's not very nice. It's the thought that counts. But obviously, she is not happy with the wrapping idea until it does seem to open up, and I guess it does look better. So I guess he ends up being. Then he had to go to the stock room, and he is not happy about carrying the dolly around. This is the joy of working in retail. It is a nuisance. So I will show the next clip in just a second.
Promotion. I like it better in gift wrap. Hey, how about that? The toy department. I haven't been in one since I was a little kid. Shoot the little baseball bat. I bet I can still hit the old apple. Wow, a home run. Uh-oh. Whoops.
So this is what happens when Fred is in the taking things to the stock room. He goes to the toy department. Okay, now back then the toys were much more fun, I'm sure. So he just has a blast with the very hard baseball, and he hits Mr. Macy in the mouth. Yes.
Anybody knows that the dolls look like his daughter?
So I'm glad you mentioned that about the Pebble dolls. Just wait to the end of the episode. Wait till I show the presents being delivered. So yes, it does look like little dolls of his wonderful daughter Pebbles. So Fred decides to play with the toys, doesn't give the kids a turn, and eventually Mr. Macy yells at him. He tells him to take the stuff down to the stock room. He does, but he falls down an elevator that is out of order. Now, so Mr. Macy, of course, fires Fred, but the elevator was open. It never said out of order. So he could have been sued big time. But their Santa Claus is not coming in, so they need to fill it, and they can't call the employment places because they're already used up. So Fred is this is how he becomes the wonderful mall Santa Claus at the wonderful Ghetto-ria. So I will show that clip in just a second.
They put the beard on. How's that? Oh, perfect. Now let me hear how jolly you can be. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, everybody! Great. Now hurry and get out there before we lose all our customers.
Hey, Mama, look! There's Santa Claus!
Merry Christmas, everybody! Ho, 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 ho!
Gee, it's
Fred as Santa Claus. maybe Mr. Macy should have done this from the start. This obviously seems to be his best job at the mall. He gets to sit there and be in a beard, and the kids just get to tell him what they want, and he pretty much just has to say okay and Merry Christmas. That's very simple, and it's a done deal. So he is now the Macy's Santa Claus. So I guess this is the Miracle on 34th Rock Street, or Bedrock for that matter. So now I will show the next clip of him at home, and we get to hear the Barney Rubble laugh finally. So I will show that clip in just a second.
I see. But just in case you were Santa, I didn't want to pass up the opportunity.
Hey, Santa, how about giving my friend Flintstone a new bowling ball for Christmas? And then he'll have no excuse when I beat him at bowling.
I hate to say this, but come on in.
So here's the wonderful Barney laugh. So obviously he tells him to get a new bowling ball for Christmas, so that he wouldn't have an excuse for Barney beating him at bowling. So now there's another funny part here. So Barney makes a snickering remark at how he got to be Santa Claus, and I missed this the first time I watched it. So this is actually a funnier episode than what I thought. So I will show that clip in just a second.
I needed someone jolly who likes kids
And has a big tummy.
and has a big tummy. No, that's Patty.
Right, Fred, ever since I've known you, I've watched you pat it from the inside.
Oh, yeah? Well, just for that, yours is one chimney I'm not coming down.
You couldn't get down any chimney, Fred, with this.
Well,
So here is Barney's little wisecracks towards Fred. He is pretty much making fun of his weight the entire time. He says it's padding, but then he says he's been pretty much padding that for years. So, and then Barney does do his laugh again. So we get to hear it twice. The Barney laugh is really what makes this character. It wasn't until around late season 2 where they finally got the voices right. So, and this does happen from time to time with cartoons. The animation looks a little different in season 1. It looked a little different in season 2, but they cleaned it up. I believe it was midway through. So now we have Wonderful Fred and Barney, and he's just throwing the wisecracks like crazy. So now I will show Fred is about to be kidnapped by 2 little visitors. So I will show that in just a second.
Mr. Flintstone, wake up! Open your eyes.
Huh? Hey, what are you kids doing in here? The store's closed.
We're not kids. Blinky here is 420 years old. And Twinkie is 385.
Oh, knock it off.
Honest, we're 2 of Santa's helpers. And he needs your help, Mr. Flintstone. Will you come with us to the North Pole?
Kids, what imagination.
Follow us, Mr. Flintstone.
Hey, where did you kids get this sled? I don't remember seeing it before.
It belongs to Santa Claus. And we're taking you to the North Pole in it.
No kidding. All right, let's go.
Away, Dancer! Away, Prancer! And away we go!
Hey, we're leaving.
Well, he's being kidnapped by, I believe it is Winky and Blinky, and they are 2 elves. I wonder if one of them wants to be a dentist. So they are now capturing Wonderful Fred. He has no idea that they're really elves until they go way up in the air on that wonderful stone sleigh. At least it is not made out of a cheap plastic like they make like they started doing with the Monte Carlos. So now they are in this nice little vehicle here that is very, very sturdy and probably very heavy as well. So now they are going to the wonderful North Pole. So now we get to see Santa Claus in the next clip, and I will show that in just a second.
Oh, there's nothing jolly about that.
But ho, 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 or no ho, ho, ho. You can't let the kids down.
I don't intend to.
Ah, the boy. Then you'll make the ride?
No, you will.
Me?
Uh-huh. You've got to deliver these presents tonight.
But Santa, I don't know how.
Oh, nothing to it. Winky and Blinky will help you, and Dancer and Prancer and the other reindeeros know the route.
Well, so this is wonderful Santa Claus here, and he is down for the count. Where's Mrs. Claus? I just thought I would just ask. Maybe somebody knows. But so he picked out of the bunch. He picked Fred. So now I will show the next clip of him dropping the presents off, and let's see who else is getting dropped in people's houses. It isn't just presents. Father of the Year strikes again. So I will show that clip in just a second.
Merry Christmas! Ho, ho, ho! Dans quel pays? Bon Natale! Joyeux Noël! Christmas is a lot of fun this year because I'm sitting in for dear old Santa Claus. Here I being Santa is such fun, bringing cheer and joy to everyone. Whoa! I want to shout.
Well, I did show this part here because I actually thought that Pebbles was actually being tossed down the little chute there because it looks just like her, and I know it's a cartoon, so I figured it was just part of the joke because it looks just like her. So Pebbles is being dropped several times. I know this is a doll, but it looks just like her, and just look how the colors are popping compared to the other presents. So I actually thought this was actually quite funny. And he's just singing along, just dropping presents down. So he's not even going down the chimneys themselves. And probably because he doesn't have any magic. So now I will show the final clip of Fred going home. And then I will do my little dog and pony show. So I will show that clip in just a second.
Bam Bam, you were so real. The way you came down the chimney. And put all those presents under the tree.
And went up the chimney again. I gotta hand it to you, Fred. A real Santa couldn't have done it better.
I'm glad you got over your cold so fast. And all that sneezing.
Cold? Sneezing? Oh, me? Who else? We'd never known it was you, Fred. You put on a great act. Excuse me a minute. I'll be right back. Oh, Merry Christmas, Fred! Ah, gee. How about that, bro?
So here is the final clip. And what happened here was Fred thought that he left his presents in the sled when after the elves left. He realized he made this mistake. So I guess what happened was Santa actually dropped his presents off at his house. And they actually thought that Santa was actually dressing up as Santa. So it all worked out in the end. So with this Christmas episode, would I recommend watching this around the holiday season? If you want to watch something short and sweet, yeah, I actually do recommend it. I was going to give this the Rob Lowe and Ryder Strong Award for being a letdown. After I went through the clips, I actually did find some funny parts. Is it my favorite Flintstones episode? No, it is not. It's not even close. But compared to other Christmas episodes on TV today, it is absolutely fantastic. So I will actually give this a B plus rating. It is funny enough. It is Flintstonesy enough, and it is something you can watch with your whole family. And this is actually on Tubi. And yes, I do have the complete Flintstone season on DVD, which probably doesn't surprise anybody that does watch my channel, since I own most of the stuff I have on DVD, since I rip streaming services apart. So I do, like I said, I do recommend watching this. So please comment below. What is your favorite um, Christmas special or TV show? I asked about movies last year, so this time I will ask about TV show specials or what did I say? TV shows or TV specials. So comment below. Subscribe if you want, and thank you very much for watching.